What is going on, guys? We are back with another prediction video, and this is what we are looking at. We are looking at the championship weekend, and of course we know Jags versus Patriots, Vikings versus Eagles. Who's going to win? Who do I think is going to win? These are the questions. These are the answers. So first things first, people are complaining last time, oh, you left Wentz in. No, EA left Wentz in. He's not supposed to be there, but he is. There's a lot of players that are probably not supposed to play. But Wentz is a huge one, so I'm not going to probably go through every single one, but Wentz is a huge one, so we can't let him play. Hopefully this doesn't... Nah, I can't mess with this. I'm just going to let it happen. It is what it is. The game, you put him there. That's all I can say. Because I don't... Unless I can change depth charts. So I decided to be the Eagles instead, because there's no other team that has this good of a player that's really missing. You know, you got Dalvin Cook, you got Edelman, but... no one is nearly as good as Wentz, so let everyone else have who they have. No, maybe I shouldn't. Once again, I can't let Edelman play. He's a really high overall. I'll just drop him down to an 80 overall, so then, you know, he might be Edelman, but he won't have Edelman stats. So, it is what it is. I mean, it'll be similar anyways. Edelman's an 83 overall. I think that's perfectly fair. But back to what matters. Of course, we have the division or the championship weekend. A lot of good matchups. I feel like Tom Brady, if he can win the game against the Jags, it's an easy win. I'm not saying whoever wins the AFC side is going to win the Super Bowl. I think if the Jags win, it'll be a lot closer. But I just don't think either the Eagles or the Vikings would be able to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I just don't see it. But that being said, do the Jags have a chance? I don't know. I mean, the Steelers, they put up a little bit of pointage. Let's be honest. You know, the Steelers gave away points on offense, and they were still, you know, realistically, if you want to be technical about it, the Steelers technically put up about 60 points against the Jags. If you really want to, quote-unquote, be technical, that's a lot of points. And Tom Brady is, let's say, better. I know he has a cut on his thumb, but let's be honest, what's the extent of that? Is it even a real injury at this point? Anyone can get a cut on their thumb. I could cut myself right now. I'm sorry if I'm being edgy, but I could cut the top of my thumb and say, oh, I cut my thumb, but it would barely affect me. You know, it's not like he's wearing gloves when he's playing. Unless he does, I don't know. Because obviously, if it actually is a serious cut, if it is on his throwing, you know, we don't even know. Is it on his throwing hand? If it's not, then what's even the big deal? But it could affect him. You know, maybe it is a big deal. It would be, like, if it's a big gash on your throwing thumb, I could see that being a huge factor, obviously. So how much does that factor in? You know, the thing I think obviously matters is the whole Gronk versus Ramsey thing. I think it's really going to be the battle of the running backs. I think the Patriots are going to get throwing to that running back core a lot. And the Jags do have a historically great defense this year. Amazing front. Just amazing team pretty much at every single position. So obviously it's not going to be easy to score. But I will say, the Jags, they seem a little inconsistent on defense. It worries me going against a team this seasoned as the Patriots are. I know both teams, you know, well, the Patriots, you know, Edelman's not in because he's been out all season. That probably changes quite a bit of things. But at the same time, Tom Brady... Sorry I don't have anything to show you guys, but Tom Brady has weapons regardless. And, you know, their line has played very well for him. Tom Brady, he's got himself a squad. Thing is, really, doesn't matter how well the Jags defense plays when I'm worried about the Jags offense. I don't know if it's going to be able to do much. Blake Bortles, I don't trust him. You know, I don't believe in him. I don't believe in their weapons, honestly. I really only believe in their defense, which obviously does take you a long way, but I think the Jags are going to meet their match here, and it sucks to say, but the Patriots are going to win. I would honestly say they're going to put up some points. They're going to go 45-24. It's going to be a rough one, and we're all going to have to see Tom Brady waving around his rings again in the Super Bowl. But that doesn't mean it's over because the NFC side has their fair share of talent, of course, which will be the Eagles versus Vikings. Can Nick Foles really beat Tom Brady, though? That's the question. Obviously, the Jags, they're not out of it. It's not like they're completely gone. But The fact that they barely won against the Falcons like that, I don't believe. I really don't. The Vikings, they got lucky against the Saints, but, everyone's saying, hey, they probably shouldn't even be in this game, which, let's be honest, they probably shouldn't. But at the same time, the Saints were a very good team this year, so barely winning against the Saints on a miracle play isn't the worst thing that could come to your team. It's not like you're completely screwed over. Oh, there's no chance. We barely beat the Saints. The Saints have been really good the last 2 years, and Kamara has been sick, absolutely sick. The rookies, has anyone ever done that? When's the last time an offensive and defensive rookie was from the same team? Rookie of the year, anyways. And that's a pretty likely chance here. But beside the point, can the Vikings do it against the Eagles? Sure. Both defenses are great. Who's got the edge? I really don't know. I would probably point towards the Vikings. But the problem is, can they even finish? They finished very poorly against the Saints, like we said. Probably should not have been in this game. Gonna call it. I'm a Packer fan. I really don't have a horse in the race other than the horse that's going to beat Tom Brady. I'm sorry, Patriots fans, but it's a time to stop. Tom Brady has too many rings. I wouldn't even, I would want Rodgers. If it was Rodgers, okay, maybe. It's definitely biased, but it is what it is. You got to admit, if you're a Patriots fan right now and it was Peyton Manning winning all the rings instead of Tom Brady, you'd want them to lose too. Let's just call it how it is. So obviously I want the teams that are best equipped to beat the Patriots, which I think are the Jags and the Vikings. So Vikings win this game 31-20. The Eagles, I think Nick Foles being in is going to catch up to them. So 31-20 and 45-24. Let's actually sim this thing and see what EA thinks about it. Come on, someone. So it appears that we lost, I think. Well, we as in the Eagles. League schedule. They think, close one. So 38-31. I said 31-20. And then 36-34. A heartbreaker. Realistically, both are probably heartbreakers. Under 100 yards rushing for both teams. Kind of shocking. I don't see the Jags rushing for under 100 in this game. I could see the Patriots because it's not going to just be one guy carrying the ball. But if Dion Lewis has 22 carries, he's hitting 100. Let's call it that. Gronkowski does okay. Defensively, what do we have here? So Trey Flowers, 2 sacks. So apparently the Patriots getting after the quarterback, which actually does make a little bit of sense here. Malcolm Butler with a pick. Kicking perfection. Yeah, so, I think Brandon Cooks is going to have a great game. I think if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be him. I think the Patriots, like I said, win. Want the Jags to win, but wants and desires clearly mean nothing since Rodgers was hurt and my dream was crushed. Nick Foles throws 4 picks. Very well could happen. I see him throwing 3. Although he's actually been pretty decent with, taking care of the football. This is going to be an interesting one, though. I will say it is cool to see the Jags and Vikings on one side the Eagles and Vikings on one side because one of those new faces is going to make it. They both can't tie. So if it's Jaguars, whatever, the Jaguars versus any team from the NFC, I'll be happy with whoever wins because at least it's a new face. That's what I want as an NFL fan. And you can see here the Eagles, they actually pretty much overcame their quarterback's woes, almost won this thing, lots and lots of pressure. I could see that from both sides. The Vikings offensive line has actually played pretty decently. It'd be interesting to see what would have been the seasonal outcome if Dalvin Cook never got hurt because he was looking godly, an unsung hero. No one ever talks about him because he was kind of injured semi-early in the season, probably, week 5, week 6? He was actually a pretty big part of the team. Latavius has picked it up, and McKinnon was actually pretty good all season long. How are they going to attack the Eagles with those guys? I don't know, but obviously those two are the key. Diggs also the key. Quarterback play, I think it's just going to come down to who makes the least mistakes. I don't think it's going to be a gunslinger battle because both defenses are going to make the opponent's quarterbacks pay. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to win? Are your teams in this the playoffs, the last 4, the final 4 of the playoffs 2017? Going to be an interesting Super Bowl as long as it's not Eagles, Patriots. I think if Eagles are in, and the Patriots are in. The Patriots walk over them. Vikings, I don't know. Sorry, Eagles fans. I've been constantly counting you guys out. Maybe you guys win it all and you could shove it in my face. But until then, I'm still going to be against them. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. And there's also going to be a rebuild out later today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!